Oh, it's Charlie.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. It is 9:03 on my watch. Sorry for the delay. We've had a little complication here we had to discuss.
And there's
Start.
they sent that yesterday with an agenda.
Pledge allegiance to the flag led by Paul Singleton.
I don't know why.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now, was the agenda posted
Yes.
properly? Need a roll call to approve the agenda.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
Mr. Bledsoe, Ms. Chambers,
Present.
Ms. Lassiter,
Yes.
Mr. Matchett. For this approving the agenda.
Yes.
Ms. Piper,
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes. Now I need a motion to approve the minutes of,
Let's do a roll call first.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Okay. Mr. Alexander,
Here.
Mr. Bledsoe, Ms. Chambers,
Present.
Ms. Lassiter,
Present.
Mr. Matchett,
Present.
Ms. Piper,
Here.
Quakenbush,
Here.
Mr. Hughes.
Here.
Now I need a motion to approve the minutes of month, date, and year. You have that, I mean,
Yeah, it's for May 22nd.
2018, okay? Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Nope, second.
Motion by Jessica, second by Scott. Roll call, please.
Ms. Chambers,
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter,
Yes.
Mr. Matchett,
Yes.
Ms. Piper,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes. We're going to skip the financial agenda. Newspaper failed to print it on a timely basis. So when we finish up here today, we will recess and reconvene at a later date when we establish that at the end of this meeting. So we'll move directly to transfers because the financial agenda wouldn't be valid if we approved it today anyway. So let's do transfers, please.
No. I'm sorry, are you waiting on me? Yep.
It's all right, we're ready for transfers.
Mitch had a problem, so.
Okay.
Okay, transfers. Oh, wait, I got too many papers. Okay. County assessor, 106 minus 15,247.75. A106 plus 15,247.75.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Scott, second by Jessica. Questions? This was approved by the Finance Committee. Roll call, please.
Ms. Lassiter,
Yes.
Mr. Matchett,
Yes.
Ms. Piper,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
Ms. Chambers,
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes.
EMS, Medic 113 minus 17,129.70. Medic A 113 plus 17,129.70. Medic 146 minus 18,582.78. Medic A 146 plus 18,582.78. EMT E 125 minus 31,208.08. EMT F 125 plus 31,208.08. Total request 0.
Move to approve.
Second.
By Scott, second by Jessica. These are new hires, and at the Finance Committee, we found out that our crew is getting old enough that these are two retirees. that have seniority enough, we congratulate them and thank them for their service. Any other questions? Roll call.
Mr. Matchett.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
Ms. Chambers.
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes.
County assessor reassessment, part-time minus 20,000. X off annual maintenance, 315 plus 20,000, total request 0.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Scott, second by Jessica. Questions? You want to say anything, or are you happy the way it is?
Thank you very much.
Okay. And this is going to also solve James explained to us at finance, it's going to solve a problem in the next year's budget. He won't have to do this transfer.
Yeah, we've still got to find the rest of the maintenance fees this year, but we were able to put a big chunk into it. But yes, next year's budgets, I'm happy to say, look great.
Okay, good.
I've got him prepared, but he was selected jury duty, so I get to type them up and present them now. I was like, yay!
Well,
So thank you very much for the transfer.
you're better looking than he is, Amy. Thank you very much. Roll call, please.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
Ms. Chambers.
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Mr. Matchett.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes.
I told me.
Transfer addendum, communication center, C1, or C124, or excuse me, C125 minus 17,119.24, D125 plus 17,119.24, total request 0.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Jessica, second by Scott. Any questions? This was approved by finance. Roll call, please.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
Ms. Chambers.
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Mr. Matchett.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes.
Fairgrounds, 361, repairs and maintenance, minus 8,433, replace worn assets, doors and memorial building, plus 8,000, total request 0.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Jessica, second by Scott. I suppose this will probably be a heavy debate. So. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Chambers.
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Mr. Matchett.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes. Now I've asked for the financial and transfer agenda, but leave the word financial out this time, Scott.
All right, move to approve transfers and to amend the salary ordinance for like reductions.
What about the addendum 2?
Let's say the transfer
This is a
addendum.
blanket thing.
And the transfer addendum too.
It's-
We're not-
What? There's a second addendum.
We're just doing the
Yeah.
transfer.
Oh, it is.
It's a transfer.
Well, he just motioned to approve the transfers.
Well, you haven't approved it yet, I don't think.
You got another one?
You got another one? Oh, well, heck, excuse us.
Transfers.
Oh,
Oh,
I'll let you
Donna
have
didn't
mine.
give it to me.
I got another one.
You got another one, yeah, okay.
You got it?
I don't.
I don't think I
Scott don't have it either.
Well, it was down, when I sent it to you, addendum 1 and addendum 2.
When did we get that?
It's for community corrections. Anybody need a copy real quick?
Oh, we do.
Oh, we talked about this.
Just so we don't know, look like we don't know what we're talking about. Community Corrections had some problems with their bookkeeping.
Right. So-
At Finance Committee last Thursday, we discussed those problems and left it to Community Corrections and the Auditor's Office, put their heads together, get this fine-ited. This is the first time anybody here has seen it, so it's purely bookkeeping. corrections of errors, we'll put it that way. It has to do with salaries. So I don't know that we can do anything but hope they got it right and give them a,
Yeah, Donna, you reviewed it with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just forgot
Well,
about it.
Yeah.
I'm saying from a council member's point of view,
Right,
we put our trust in
yeah, it's,
community corrections and the auditor's office.
right.
They've worked together on it. It's not something that we were involved at, other than at finance committee meeting, we were made aware of the problems. But they had totally sorted them out.
Right, I got it, yeah.
And while Mitch is standing there, the newspaper didn't get the agenda for the financials
She redid it and sent them out.
advertised properly, so we're gonna have to recess after this meeting and meet again so that we can approve your budget before July. So don't panic, we'll take care of it. But otherwise, if we wait till next month, you'd be in a heap of trouble.
We can't meet before July 2nd.
We can't?
No.
Well, how are we
It's gonna
gonna
be 10 days.
approve his budget? Has to be done by the 1st.
What's the?
Now, you're really making it complicated now.
I'm sorry, unless you want to come in on Saturday after your state called meeting about 6 o'clock Saturday evening.
We can meet there.
Well, let's finish this transfer up, okay? And then we'll discuss that issue. I was gonna call a special meeting for next week.
9, 10,
Let's go ahead and get me a motion to finish this transfer.
Move to approve.
Want to read it?
Oh, yeah, we gotta read it.
I don't think you have to read it. We'll just motion to approve it as presented. It's just a lot of small changes to fix salaries.
For your motion. Then I will move to approve as presented.
Second.
Second, Scott. Any further discussion about this particular transfer from community corrections? Okay, roll call.
Ms.
please.
Lassiter.
Yes.
Mr. Matchett.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
Ms. Chambers.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes. Now, before we move along, and Mitch is standing there, am I not correct that your budget has to be approved of July 1st, or does that make a difference? You're correct. Mr. Hughes, we're gonna need your help. Do you understand what the problem is here?
When was the advertising? When was it published?
The 20th.
You need 10 days.
I mean, can we like give him pre-approval contingent on a final vote? Would that be okay?
I think they can do that on the 29th. That's exactly 10 days.
Cause he's counting the 20th.
The 20th, if they put it in the
She
paper
told me the 30th.
That's a
I'm
legitimate.
just telling you what she told me, the 30th.
The state did.
Yep. That's what I just got off the phone with, that's why I was late getting up here.
Well, Chris said it. I mean, we're all going to be present, I think, aren't we, down at the state meeting?
Pretty much. We could vote on over hors d'oeuvres.
Okay.
Wasn't this warrant a special emergency meeting? It's his budget.
The state requirement is that we advertise the budget 10 days prior to deliberating it. Can I ask a question?
Did we not already do that for the grant, Denise? Because we gave that to you, and we were already on the agenda for my budget.
From last month?
Yes, the changes that we
Well,
made were not. Those things we discussed in finance were not, because those came up just last week, but we were already on your agenda for the grant.
Yeah, that,
So
Yeah, we approved that last month. Ron, what I think you're looking for is the changes, right?
No.
Those little salary changes.
No, the changes are transfers.
Those are in our current budget for
Yeah,
this year.
Right, and we're talking about what's on the agenda today for your budget that starts July 1st.
Our overall grant in that budget was already advertised, or should have been.
No, that's the problem. It didn't get advertised
Well,
on time.
but he's saying in,
It should have been.
he's saying in
We submitted it
May, right?
way back, yeah, a month ago.
Well, it should have been on last month's agenda
Well,
then.
let's look and see.
It was, and
We
it
submitted
wasn't.
it in May to be on this agenda.
Exactly, and this council meeting did not get advertised in time.
Yeah.
See, that's what's been presented to
Everything
us,
gets-
is your entire budget,
Right.
here on this month's agenda.
You turned it in time. It's
Yeah.
nothing you did. It's just, we had an
So
issue
it
with
didn't get-
the Star
it didn't
Press.
get
It's the
it.
Star Press's fault.
I understand.
They did not publish it. I've got proof and on my backup.
Okay.
And, I mean, there's nothing I can do except for drive there and make them.
I understand. I just.
You know, I did everything I possibly could, and
I
Steve
see.
approved
I
everything,
guess I
and Donna
didn't
did
realize.
too, so.
See, and the problem is, it's not
And I'm
local
sorry,
no more. It
apologize.
goes to Wisconsin or Minnesota.
Yes, Wisconsin.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I know.
I just did not know that, that's why it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, we-
yeah, you turned it in plenty.
Yeah, you did it right.
Just curious.
Yep, you did fine.
I mean, can you guys legally do that Saturday? Go ahead and,
I don't think they can have that
Saturday.
meeting out of county.
We can't do that.
They could probably have it here when they get back. But it's public, you can't, it's not, it's that part not radio.
just,
Mr. Hughes, if it was submitted to the Star Press, it's not our responsibility when and where they print it.
Right, but Donna already talked to the state, and they said that it cannot be, the financials cannot be
see this form right
approved.
here? I have to put the date on here
Mm-hmm.
when it was published. Well, I can't lie about it. She
Well,
already,
no,
I mean,
I'm not
she
asking
knows
you to do that.
it's automatically gonna get turned in. Cause that's gonna say
Can't
that,
you do a Martha Stewart?
Ah,
nope. Not jeopardizing my job.
Mitch, who do you have to report this to?
As far as the fact that it's not being approved, or
Yeah, if it were not approved, who would?
I don't know why we can't approve it on Monday the second.
My
First
my
falls on
supervisor
Sunday,
probably
they're
at the DOC.
they're not open anyway.
Can you explain the circumstance to them and say, because of this and because of the weekend, it would be approved on the 2nd?
I can certainly contact them and see what they say.
That'd be the best.
Probably better do that before we adjourn today.
Well, and couldn't you say like, you received pre-approval today on the budget, but the council can't make a final approval until the 2nd, but you've been pre-approved?
I'll try to call them and see what,
We can do that.
may not be that critical. I don't-
I'll find out for sure, because
Okay.
I don't want to mess you up. That's the only thing I'm looking at. We decided, why go through all this today and then call a special meeting next week and do it over? Why not just wait till next week and do it all? Because it won't be legal today anyway. So we need to know, we can consider Sunday as a non-working day and that Monday would be all right.
Is this the first time that's happened in
First.
the history?
As far as I know.
that, yeah, I mean, I did
Not
it
bad.
one time, it was my fault, but this is their fault, yeah. I can send you all the backup too.
19 years. First time in the 19 years I've been here.
Yeah, well, seems like we're working uphill, you know. We've been working uphill ourselves over there with this month, so it's just something that happens.
But it's
Let me
not
give them a
local
call
anymore.
and I'll
Yeah.
see what they.
There's nothing local in Muncie anymore, so everything you do, you have to deal with somebody out of state.
Sure.
And so this department's in Wisconsin.
The great age of communication.
Yeah. If they answer it, that's good.
Thank you.
Thanks, sorry about that.
And Gail and Donna are gonna remember Josie from the newspaper, and we thought we had trouble with Josie,
Yeah.
but Donna.
Now, I'm going to ask our attorney a question. In the past, my experience has been that with publications to the public, the law says we have to publish it in the local, one way or another. can we post this stuff in the post office and meet the requirements?
No. It is a publication requirement, and the Star Press is the only
publication.
publication in Delaware County.
And we're finding out they're not totally qualified.
Yeah, because Steve had, when we were aware of this problem, Steve had told me what to do, and I went and I posted the agenda on the different floors. So, just in case we could get by with that.
Well, and the problem is, and I've noticed before in my emails from you, that people don't necessarily always get things in ahead of time, and you'll send us out a reminder that your date is approaching. So you're probably gonna have to move that date forward a few days for future, so you don't.
Well, really, honestly, nobody, the staff did nothing wrong. Not at all, and they...
I'm not saying anybody did anything wrong. I'm saying that due to the turnaround time, your deadline is gonna have to be moved back a little bit, so...
I don't know how she could move it
Yeah,
back anymore.
I can't.
Well,
I mean,
that's up to the boss there.
she's pushing now to get them on time, to get them advertised on time.
Yeah.
That's up to Steve, he's the auditor, I'll let him take
Okay,
care
let's
of it.
move on and see what Mitch finds
It's
out.
okay, we need to do committee reports.
I can tell you that I went to the Visitors Bureau meeting on their regular scheduled day. But I was the only one there because they had moved it up a day ahead.
Oh,
So,
oops.
oops, and they don't meet in July, so it will be August before I will be able to go and they can chew on me.
And along that line, I did ask Mr. Hughes to send a letter to the president of that board reminding them that they should not enter into any financial commitments without county council approval. I hope you all got a copy of that, I think you did, just to keep our cards on the table. Appointments, we made some last month, the letters went out probably today.
Yesterday.
Two new people and the one leaving. And personnel.
Rick's out.
Rick
And,
here? No Rick?
He's out.
No personnel.
He's having.
Okay, moving right along.
Ron, we still need to approve and amend the transfers.
Oh, we didn't get that done? Oh, that's right, because Denise interrupted us.
Before we do that, there's no other action we can take today,
No.
right? Okay.
Everything
All right.
else is financial.
Well, I'll move to approve the transfer agenda and addendums and
Okay.
amend the salary ordinance with like reductions.
Gotcha.
Second.
Scott, thanks for reminding me there. Let's see here. Any more comments? Oh, roll call, please.
Ms. Lassiter,
Yes.
Mr. Matchett.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
Ms. Chambers.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes. I used to think I wanted to be president, Chris.
I think you like being president.
I'm beginning to wonder. I was wondering why Chris says, well, I don't want to do that another year. Gets complicated, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, we have an amendment to a part-time ordinance. Mr. Hughes?
Now, I sent out the ordinance, amending ordinance 2017-05, the Delaware County salary ordinance. This is 2018-008. A couple of technical corrections in the last version I sent out. In the second whereas paragraph where it says Delaware County 911 employees, that should read Delaware County Community Corrections, or Delaware County Communications Center employees. And then the next whereas, that should read, any change in the salary ordinance will not require any additional appropriation beyond the approved 2018 budgets, plural, for the Delaware County Communications Center, rather than 911 department. The intent of the ordinance is, as explained, I guess, through the Finance Committee, is to set pay rates for part-time 911 employees.
And communications.
And
It's
communications.
it's two budgets. One's a state budget from fee from telephone, and the other is a general fund budget from the auditor's operating balance. General fund. Okay, do I have a motion to approve? Introduce. Excuse me. Need a motion to introduce ordinance 2018-00.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Motion by Jane, second by Jessica.
Just a question, the motion is with the changes that you just made? Okay.
Any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Matchett? Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes. Mr. Singleton has asked us to suspend the rules. He has a part-time employee that he'd like to keep, afraid he's not going to if he can't offer him a little something, and so I'm asking you to make a motion to suspend the rules and consider this for second reading.
Can I ask a question before we do that?
Sure.
Larry's not here today. Does that affect anything with suspending the rules?
Majority present.
Okay.
Super majority present. So do I have a motion to suspend the rules for?
Motion to suspend.
Motion from Jane,
Second.
second from Chris. Okay, roll call.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Mr. Matchett?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes. And now I need a motion to approve ordinance 2018-008, second reading.
Motion to approve.
Moved by Jane,
Second.
second by Mary. Roll call.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Mr. Matchett?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes. And I want to thank Paul again. Paul has been really due diligent. When he first came on, I gave him a little bit of a hard time. He's a gentleman. He had a problem here. He called me first of last week. We discussed how to solve it. Came to finance with a complete explanation of what he wanted to do. Two-page document, well prepared. I appreciate that. Thank the council for going along with him on this.
Thank you very much.
Resolutions. I think we have it. We have an interlocal agreement with the town of Yorktown. This, I'm sure you all have in your packet, is an agreement with the Highway Department, county commissioners, and the road work that the county does in the, what we call the unincorporated part of the consolidated Yorktown community. Yorktown and Mount Pleasant Township consolidated a few years back. but the entire township is not part of the corporate limits. Therefore, the county agreed to continue to take the funds from the state for the unincorporated areas, and this agreement is just an extension or continuation of what they've been doing. According to Mr. Brook, county attorney, there were a few tweaks in it that were made, but I didn't bother to go through the details. This is just needs our approval, something the commissioners have already agreed upon. So I need a motion to approve the Yorktown interlocal agreement.
So moved.
Second?
By Jessica, second by Scott. Do you have anything on that, Mr. Hughes?
I got a question.
Chris?
I'd like to, in the agreement, it refers to a road and street map referred to as Exhibit B. It's not in, I'd like to request a copy of that.
Okay.
Exhibit A and Exhibit B should have been attached to it.
And Mr. Auditor,
Maybe
can you get that for us?
Yep, I'll get it.
Thanks for reading that, Chris. I didn't even look at it. Quite honestly, I just assumed it was all in order.
Steve, you can just email that to us, or? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Roll call.
Ms. Chambers.
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Mr. Massett.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes. Anything else?
I do.
I know what you're gonna ask.
Your name?
I gotta have dates for budget hearing.
Right, I've got that. I was gonna do that under my comment. That's okay.
Oh.
We'll do it now. Donna sent you a copy of last year's agenda. We need to know if you want to do the budget hearings in the same format, one day. And we also need to vote on a day that she can advertise. Any comments?
I like doing it all, trying to knock it out.
Yeah, let's
Personally.
do it in one day and approve it in our next council meeting.
So if we start on Wednesday like we did last year, meet with all departments in one day, that's September the 5th. And then if you want to adopt at the September meeting, that's September the 25th.
I give you time to do it all together?
I'll make it work.
Okay.
And really, the quicker we get it in, the more likely, we're budget.
What was that September date, please?
We'll start on the 5th. We'll adopt on the 25th.
20th. Got it.
And I just told Jen, I went over to double check with her that I would just have to keep the whole first week open, and whatever date you guys decide, I'd have to tell her later, so.
Didn't we end up going into 2 days? Don't we do like a day and a
Well,
half?
we'll have to meet.
Oh, you'll meet.
Yeah.
You'll meet for,
hearings.
That's
Oh,
just
and then,
for the
okay.
interviews.
Yeah.
So,
That's for
then
the
the 6th,
interviews.
we plan just to meet?
on the 5th, it's just to go over all the departments, then you'll work for a few days
Okay.
after that.
We'll work from there then.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to have everything worked through and approved for you to have time to get it ready for the
Right.
meeting.
We'll have to determine how many snacks are left over, how long it takes to consume them, and all that stuff. You know, just according to how much we agree or disagree on what we're gonna cut and not cut and all that. I've seen it go, we may still be meeting by the 25th. One year we were into the next month quite a ways working, Chris.
Yeah, last year we extended it till October, and you never did a thing, so
Well,
it just makes it, I mean, with the states moving up all their deadlines for us for budgets, and this'll help get us in line quicker to get approved quicker too, so.
what made it more smooth last year was most budgets were pretty much the same as the year before,
Yeah.
which we'd asked people to do, and they cooperated. If the same thing happens this year, it will work accordingly,
Yep.
but that's not our decision. Okay, anybody from the audience like to speak?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Carter. I am the Ag and Natural Resources Educator with Purdue Extension here in the county. I just wanted to give you a quick update on what we are currently doing. Just a small portion of some of our programming currently includes mental health first aid training that myself and another educator are doing to take the topic of mental health issues to ag producers. Case in point, within the last month, we did have a gentleman down in the southern part of the county that did commit suicide, and our thoughts and prayers are still with his family. But that message of mental health, you know, is one that we're really concerned with ag producers, because the time frames they have to get all their work done spring and fall. And by the time they're done with that, you know, moving big equipment, dealing with large financial pressures, flat markets. So we want to be able to help those that are facing the ag community be able to spot issues that will be able to maybe save a life. Beyond that, we're doing cutting edge work with UAVs and drones right now to help bring more to bring a better investment to farmers and community leaders and community organizations. With that, I've had to become a drone pilot, and it's been quite an experience. So some of the other people in our office are doing wonderful things with addressing food security here in the city. They're working with different organizations to try and bring to a close the food deserts, to try and bring healthy options for residents of Muncie and Delaware County, and we really appreciate the hard work that they are doing. And they are making wonderful strides. That I can tell you. But not to go too far with what we're doing, I just want to thank you folks for all the work that you do and the information that you were given. We would like, as Extension, the office staff within Extension, the Extension homemakers, the master gardeners, the 4-H council, the 481 4-H kids, the over 200 volunteers that lead the 4-H projects and leaders, Purdue campus staff, the administration, Dr. Jason Henderson, the Extension State Director, and our previous governor and our current president, Mitch Daniels. We would like to invite you to the Delaware County Fair.
And I'm here representing the Fair Board to just second that. It's great to work with the 4-H organization and to provide that facility and to have so many great programs for the kids and to let them showcase all of their accomplishments at the fair. And there are additional fair programs out on the table for anyone.
Please, for the record.
Melanie Marshall, Delaware County Fair Board member.
I have met with Mark and with Molly both, and I am so impressed in what they're doing now. And I don't know about the rest of you, but we have been lobbied, I have been lobbied when it comes to budget time to maybe consider their requests, and I take that seriously, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. I was lobbied also. Molly invited me up. I had no idea. She said she wanted to talk about the budget. Well, first she introduced me to herself as the new director, I guess.
County Extension Director.
Extension Director. She is now the County Extension Director. Quite energetic young lady.
Yes, she is.
A lot of goals, a lot of staff that I hadn't seen before. She opened my eyes to some of the programs they're doing. I was aware of some of them, not aware of a lot what Mark's doing, I wasn't aware of. But it was very enlightening. And it's like everything else we council members do, we don't tighten these budgets because we want to. We do it because it's our job to try to make it all work. But appreciate what you're doing, and thank you for coming. I think Molly was away today, wasn't she? So appreciate your coming to tell us. And she asked me for some advice on her budget, so you all might as well be prepared. My advice was, when you come to budget hearing, bring your staff. So they'll probably all be at the budget interview. We'll see if she takes my advice. I've always found the more number of people in the room, the better off you make your impression.
I would guess there will be several from several different organizations.
Probably. It's probably going to be very busy. Okay, anybody else?
I have something.
Okay.
I heard today is someone's birthday. Mary's.
Oh,
So everyone wish Mary a happy birthday.
Mary.
Okay, if you meet on Monday, the 2nd, you can't meet till 10:30, 11 o'clock because commissioners' meetings.
Right, right.
So,
Mr. Mitch.
Oh,
Well, I've made a couple calls, but I haven't gotten a response yet. So
Oh, okay.
I'm just kind of like a mushroom. I get stuck in the dark, and they're usually pretty good about calling me back, but I don't know what they got going on down there, so.
Well, I think due to the circumstances, we're going to meet as close to the 1st as we can, and that'll be the 2nd because the 1st is on Sunday. And hopefully that will make them satisfied that they won't cut your grant. If it does, you'll have to get in touch with me.
I mean, basically, they've approved your grant, right? All you're doing is allocating the money.
The commissioner's already signed
So-
the contract, and it's been sent down.
So I don't see any problem,
I
really.
don't think it's gonna be a big problem.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I just thought you ought to be aware of it,
Yeah.
so we can work together on it. I mean, it's, I don't know.
First time for everything, isn't there?
I guess that's the best word you can say. It's demoralizing, and I shouldn't say this, but there was an article in yesterday's paper that so upset me that I called the editor. He didn't bother to call me back, of course. It was in Sunday's paper. Just wanted to discuss it, but I suppose they're too busy to talk to somebody like me. Okay.
Different kind of world we're
You
living
can
in.
all guess what it was.
So if I hear back any different,
Yeah.
you'd like for me to get in touch with you?
No, 'cause I'll have to get ahold of Mr. Hughes and see what to do.
I mean, I don't really think it's gonna be a huge problem, because that's the first day of our fiscal year, so it's not like we're going a month into our fiscal year, so.
Well, I need to know, I'm gonna go ahead and schedule that meeting for the 2nd, and unless I hear from you differently.
Okay.
Because we're gonna recess today till the 2nd. If everybody agrees, we haven't discussed that part yet, but it looks like that's gonna be our best bet.
Then the next council meeting for July is actually later in the month, I take it.
4th Tuesday.
Yeah. Would you like for me to inquire whether or not that, if you wanted to go to that meeting?
No, we have to do the rest of the agenda. We didn't do any of the financial
Oh,
agenda.
you still got work to do.
Everybody else is hanging loose too.
Fair enough.
Not a bunch of stuff, but it's highway.
That makes me feel better that it's
Well, yeah.
not just me, because you had.
Yeah, there's several $100,000 there in the highway we didn't approve.
Oh,
Yeah, you're not the only one hanging loose.
So am I gonna publish this?
No,
No.
they're recessing.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna recess so that your original publish will work. Will meet the requirement. Okay, I guess we're done with you, Mitch, for now. Unless I hear from you, we'll see you next Monday sometime later in the day.
okay, so Denise, you'll let me know what time I need to be here.
Yes.
Good enough.
I'll talk to you Monday, or do you want it today?
You want to give me a call when you're done today? And
I think we'll be done pretty quickly.
I guess the only thing I need to know is what are the dates?
Oh, that's easy. Melanie, give him a,
I'll talk to her.
you talk to her.
Thank you,
Okay.
folks. Have a good day.
Okay,
Thanks, Mitch.
now we'll go ahead with the council meeting. Okay.
What I was talking to Mitch about is I'm in charge of parking at the fair, and Mitch's community correction people help with the parking. And we have gotten so many compliments on how polite those people that do that are. And, you know, Mitch always tells them, or his two guys do it, and I do too, that they're representing us and to be sure and act in the way we want them to. So anyway, that's what I need to talk to Mitch about.
And these folks are under one of the programs that are keeping the people out of the jail. Right?
Yep.
These workers. Okay, Bill, I talked to you a while back about this Central Indiana Regional Development Authority, about how we can withdraw from that. Did I make sure I got you a copy of you?
Yes.
Okay, still under advisement.
It would be just the same thing as when you adopted you agreed to join. So you did that by ordinance?
Mm-hmm. Ordinance 2015-017.
So you would need to amend or repeal that ordinance.
Okay. Okay, so I'm not sure where I'm at on this, to you fellow council members. But back in 2015, we joined the East Central Indiana Regional Development Authority. And it was by ordinance. Ordinance 2015-017. In the meantime, that organization has, I don't know how else to say it, but they've attempted and effectively caused a couple of counties to withdraw from the regional redevelopment group that Delaware County belongs to, with Blackford, Grant, Jay, and I think Jay's one that might be leaving, and it's just sort of disruptive. And so Brad Bookout came to me on behalf of the commissioners to see if we would withdraw from our membership of this organization. It seems some folks in Henry County are trying to create a new regional organization, as best I can tell. And I found one statement in here, I can't find it right this minute, that says that we're not supposed to belong to any other regional redevelopment group while we belong to this one. And we'd already belonged to the one we belonged to for some years. So I'm going to propose that we amend this ordinance and withdraw from being a member of this group. Am I making myself clear? Any comments?
What do we pay a year to belong to that?
I don't know.
I don't know that you pay anything.
You don't pay
I think we
anything?
pay in.
Not that I don't, it's been so long I don't remember. Is that the one that at one time in the very beginning we did pay like did you pay like a fee or something
Yes.
years ago?
Yes.
And I don't remember the dollar amount, I just vaguely remember things about it, but we haven't paid anything for the last few years. At least not directly out of your budget. I don't know if somebody else is paying it, but
Well, the commissioners could be out of their dues. and
Does county council have any representation on that board?
yeah. I mean,
No.
what's it for?
Well, at the time, I think I opposed it. The authority is a separate body, corporate and politic, with the purpose to acquire, construct, equip, own, lease, and finance projects and facilities for lease to or for the benefit of eligible political subdivisions, and fund and develop airport authority projects, commuter transportation district and other rail projects, regional transportation authority projects and services, economic development projects, intermodal transportation projects, regional trail or greenway projects, and any other project that enhances the region with the goal of attracting people or business that are of regional importance. As I remember, when I read this before, I just thought this was way beyond what we should be involved in. That's sort of letting go of a lot of these things I just read locally and letting somebody else manage it. Kind of like the deal that was going on with the reservoir over there at Anderson. That was the same kind of group.
I can remember there was a lot of discussion on it, and it certainly was not passed with any kind of enthusiasm. Do you remember that, Fred?
Well, would you like to vote, or do you want to just give Mr. Hughes the authority to amend this and remove us from this organization? What do you think?
Ron, I'm a little confused. Is it the same group that meets over at the connector?
No,
It's not the ECIRPD?
No,
No.
Brad Bookout is the commissioner's appointment to this as their consultant. And I don't know who else. I know there's people from Henry County. I'm not real familiar with it, quite honestly. Brad came to me and asked me to take a look at it on behalf of the commissioners. They're not real happy with it, I guess. I haven't talked to the commissioners about it. I've just talked to Brad. I told Brad I will talk to the council and see where we go from here.
Have they, you probably don't know the answer to this question, but have they done anything since they've been in existence?
I honestly don't know. Oh, they took a trip to Washington because I saw that in the paper. Wow.
So we've had to have paid some kind of a,
Well, there's a treasurer in here.
You wanna check into it and give us an update for next meeting? Maybe talk with the commissioners and Brad and get their recommendation and,
Yeah, I don't, well, their recommendation is to get out of it, that's why I'm here.
okay.
That's what Brad asked me to do, was to withdraw from it. But I wanted to talk to you, the rest of you folks, about it before I asked Mr. Hughes to.
and I don't know why I thought it was kind of on a trial basis, that we were not.
I remember the discussion on it because this is one where we gave up a lot of authority and gave it to this commission, and then I haven't heard of anything at all that's gone on with that group since it had begun.
Well, it says, whereas Indiana Code 3676, et cetera, permits the fiscal body of a county to establish and become a member of the authority, and whereas this body has determined that the purposes of the authority benefit and are in the best interests of Delaware County, namely the authority's purpose of promoting the acquisition, construction, equipping, owning, leasing, and financing of projects and facilities for lease to or for the benefit of eligible political subdivisions, and the funding and development of airport authority projects, et cetera, et cetera. I read all that to you. I don't know that we've gotten anything from it. But you could say was positive. I don't know that we've gotten anything that's negative. I just don't see any reason to belong to it. Of course, I don't see any reason for us to belong to that narrow rail railroad project between Noblesville and Indianapolis, but we do. And we joined that and paid the first year's thing, and now their fee is paid out of the plan commission budget on that one. That's off the record. That's not this.
That wasn't one of those where they submitted to the state for that grant money, was it?
Yes.
That we were denied?
Yes.
I think.
I believe you're right.
South Bend or Fort Wayne got it,
I believe you're right.
but we
Jane.
had to submit it to the state as a district.
City of Muncie did too.
Right, and we did not receive anything from it. I forget what that was called. Do I remember what that?
It's bringing back memories since you said that.
You had to have more than one county, and I remember there was some concern with whether or not Madison County was joining because of the reservoir project and whether they could circumvent our county and go ahead with that through this group, but nothing ever happened with it.
See, the old gal still remembers something.
I think you're right, that group was formed because of that grant, and I think that's still ongoing. I think it's still applying each year.
Well, I think what they were looking for was projects that would be cooperated with the counties that were involved in that group, which I think what happened was there were going to be 3 counties, and we ended up, it was just us and Henry County, if I remember right. But
Well, under the statement of selection of directors, says the members of the board of directors shall be selected by the written agreement of the executives of the members of the authority. What does that say? That's a little bit of legal jargon, isn't it?
The commissioners
Well, I guess, yeah.
is anybody attending those? I mean, is Brad attending the meetings?
I can't tell you that.
Have they been having meetings?
Why don't we, I mean, it's up to you
I can
guys.
have Brad come to the next meeting and talk to you about it if you want to.
Well, we can talk to him on our own between now and
I
then.
just want to know whether to proceed to extract ourselves. That's what Brad asked me to do, was ask the council if they would be willing to withdraw. So that's my question.
Well, I don't think Brad would have asked that unless he had the approval from the commissioners. So it sounds like the commissioners want out of it too, or they wouldn't have asked Brad to pursue that. I'll make a motion to withdraw from it. We'll see where it goes.
Okay, have a motion and have a second.
I think I'd like to talk to the commissioners and Brad and find out why it is, I guess, but whatever you guys want to do.
Motion dies for lack of a second. I will report back to Brad that I didn't get the support of the council. That's all I can tell you.
I mean, I think I agree with
Just
Todd.
tell
It'd be
him.
nice to have
You guys
a
do
chat
your
with us,
research and let me know what
or
to
us
do.
to call
You
him.
just tell him we need more information, that, well, not that we don't trust him or you, it's just,
Okay.
I'd like to have more info myself on.
I'll tell him. I'll do it. You know, this day has been so, give me just a minute here. I had everything all in order. Everything got all kind of bent out of shape for a while. I'll make sure I haven't missed anything.
Now this is, can I speak while
Sure,
you're
you go right
searching?
ahead.
It's kind of a good news, bad news.
Okay.
I attended the commissioners meeting yesterday, or their hearing, wasn't their meeting, it was their hearing. There wasn't any newspaper here, and this morning, I don't think there's a representative of the newspaper.
He's on vacation.
Thank you, that answered my question. Because I know he hadn't been looking well, and I was concerned about him. So that's a
He's
good,
having back problems.
so that's the good news, bad news.
This is funny, or not funny, but with Mark coming up and talking, it just came up on my phone. It said, CBS this morning, the suicide rate in the field of farming, fishing, and forestry is 84.5 per 100,000 people, more than 5 times of that population as a whole. Farmers in America are killing themselves in staggering numbers. I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't either. That came up the other day when I talked to Molly, yeah.
That's just,
You'd think, why are they worrying about that? What? I always heard that the reason farmers commit suicide is because they couldn't find a corner in a round barn.
Ron.
Well, that's just the old story, you know. You know what they were looking for the corner for, don't you? There's a joke to that.
Yep.
I think maybe we
She's
have,
not a farmer.
I think maybe we
Yes,
have
I
had more
am.
than one in Delaware County.
You what?
I think maybe we have had more than one in Delaware County that committed suicide recently.
That's scary.
When I talked to Molly, she is working on a program with babies that are addicted and mothers, and I was just so impressed with Molly and with Mark both.
Yeah. We have a society that's got some problems. That's all there is to it. There's a lot of hate in the air, a lot of discomfort. But when you get right back deep into the communities, most people are just living their lives like they'd like to. There's a lot of disruption in our politics, I guess is the word, not political. I promised myself and I promised the commissioners I wouldn't lobby against them on that jail project. They held a special meeting yesterday. I had to leave to make a phone call, a very personal, important phone call. They reconvened. There was nothing announced at their meeting the week before that they were going to reconvene after the public hearing. They reconvened and they did business at that reconvening. And Jane tells me that she stayed and they adopted something along the lines of the jail. They also sent to me it was hand delivered to the auditor, it says right here, a petition for the new jail, we'll call it. The auditor certified 71 signatures, total number of owners of taxable real estate 63, total number of non-owners of taxable real estate 8. 32 of the signatures on this are county employees. If you look at it real close, some of them are close to being related to the 32 employees. And that upsets me a lot. I also recently received a report from the state jail inspector that in red ink in here makes a comment. Council and commissioners has failed to work with sheriff to properly address correctional officer staff shortages, non-compliance. It's in red ink. We added 8 new employees in this year's budget. Nothing said in here about that. It says we didn't work with him.
And the nurse.
And a nurse.
We added a nurse, yeah. You guys keep reminding me that we added a nurse also.
Yeah.
Nothing in this report says that. Then, and I'm saying this mostly to alert my fellow councilmen, women, persons, read those reports. You also on your computer have a report from the Delaware County Sheriff Jail Commander. It's got some very neat statistics in the front of it. there was 4,606 total incarcerations of facility in 2017. There was 4,592 total releases from the facility. If you take 592 from 606, you get 14. That means nearly everybody in there matriculated in and out. We all know that a lot of people get arrested and bond out that day, the next day, whatever. There were 279 average population inmates, 279. 75% of all inmates incarcerated were male. If you take 75% of 279, you get 209. The double bunk capacity of that jail for males is 198. That's 11 difference. Looks like we've got a jail populated with women. And that's all information. You've got it. Read it. Read those reports again if you've read them. It's important because we're being sold a bill of goods. Don't say I said that. Anyone else want to blow off some steam while we're here today?
I guess, I mean, you brought it up. I didn't know this was going to come up today, but I think, you know, I think if the commissioners are wanting to go through or go ahead with this project, they're going to have to do, and maybe they plan to do this, I don't know, but they're going to have to sell this to the public in some way, shape, or form. I know there are some groups that have come out against it, some individuals that come out against it. I don't think that those groups or individuals have really all the facts that they need to make a decision on the jail, but that's not necessarily their fault. I think the commissioners have a responsibility to the public to prove that it's necessary. They've got a responsibility to us to prove that financially it will work. And it's going to be their job and to support it. And I think is the petition that you had, has that been sent out to everybody? Does everybody have a copy of that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I had the same concerns there. In that petition, there are mostly county employees that have signed that as taxpayers, and I think that's fine that they do that. But in addition to that, I think the commissioners need to prove that there's support out in the community that are not employees. And if you go on down through that petition and start associating wives and brothers or daughters and sons and things like that, you come up with a much higher number on that petition. They're associated with the county, including a couple of contract. I don't know that they're contract employees, but people that work for the county that have a vested interest yet. And I think if you're going to show support from the public, it needs to be truly from the public on there, is my opinion. So I think it's important, again, that the commissioners make the pitch to the public and let the public know what it is that their plan is and see if there's support that way. So anyway, I'll quit there, but I can go on.
Well, just to go along with what you're saying, Scott, I've asked the auditor twice for the RFP, and he doesn't have it available to me. I've seen nothing with any numbers on it. Now, when I was at the commissioners meeting, when they opened the RFP and I walked up and asked Mr. Brooke if I could see it, I briefly glanced through it and noticed that the company that we had an executive session with, RQAW, is not the principal in this project. It's an LLP thing that is by state statute. The representative of RQAW told me yesterday if I wanted the numbers, because I got up and made a statement that the proposal didn't include the cost of the bonds and the money issue, And he corrected me and said that that's in there, and I said, well, I haven't seen that. You let me misspeak, which I guess I did. But he told me, the lady was sitting right there in the back corner, said, you can talk to that lady over there. He called her by name. She was the lawyer that's handling all this. Well, it's not my job to go chasing down a lawyer to find out this information. If it's supposed to be available to the public, why should I as a council member?
Do we know what it is that they passed yesterday?
I believe they unanimously, after their recess, awarded the contract to proceed.
Yeah, they did a resolution.
They did the RFP.
Do we have a, Steve, is that something that you can send to the council people?
You already have it.
I do?
Yep.
I haven't seen it.
I didn't get much sleep last night because dumb me, I went in and looked at my computer before I went to bed. I went right directly to the den, turned the TV back on.
Well, I checked
It's all there.
I checked it this morning, or checked my email this morning before I came here, and I didn't have
Didn't
it.
have it?
Have what?
Whatever it is they passed yesterday.
I didn't.
Well,
I
Denise said that she has obtained a copy of the RFP. We're gonna scan it
Yeah.
in and send everybody
You
a copy of what
you
it
sent
is.
us some documents yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
From the commissioner meeting.
You guys need to, when I send you emails, I'm not sending them.
Well,
for
you
fun.
sent it out
need
at
to
like
open it
2:45 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
not,
everyone says they don't get the email, or
it's there, I looked
yeah,
at it.
it's there.
I was so upset I couldn't go to sleep.
And then I've got the RFP, someone placed it on my chair when I was gone on Thursday, and I'll scan that later on today and get that to you guys.
That was probably, can't think of it right now. Paul Rayberry just dropped it off. Trying to think of what the stagecoach mail.
I don't know, it was on my chair, so. My invisible friend.
I just kind of want.
This would have come from you, Denise, because I don't
You know,
have
Steve,
What?
anything that came yesterday.
I have a lot of respect for Steve Craycraft. He's doing a wonderful job. Anytime I call him or ask him or anything, and it's just like when I read you those numbers of the number of county employees those were, I didn't make those numbers up. I called the auditor and he got that number for me. It's official, in my opinion, that he took the time to do that. He could have said, Ron, that's not my job. But he does that. Anytime I need something, I go to the auditor. Anytime that the people in this county government want county council to know, by statute, he is our secretary, if you want to call it that word. That's the word I've always used.
So
Not Denise. Denise is his deputy. If people want us to have stuff, it needs to go to that auditor. And when I called to ask about that RFP, I called him. I didn't call Denise. I should be able to get that from the auditor. If Denise has it, Steve would have said, Ron, Denise has a copy for you. That's just the way it ought to be. No respect, as old Dangerfield used to say.
I don't have it.
You don't have it?
This is my email, both my email accounts right here. Whatever it is that they passed in the commissioners'
We'll
meeting.
make sure everybody gets a copy of what was passed yesterday, and we'll send the RFP today to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, if you read it real close, you're gonna find that it was asked to be on the agenda today. And I've been fretting all day whether it was gonna be or not because I didn't have a copy of the agenda. But it's not, and I'm the one that makes the agenda, folks.
I think Paul had a question.
But the email for Larry Bledsoe that's listed on the county site is wrong.
Okay.
Because his correct email has his middle initial at it. Because I've sent, when I sent this document out, I got the stuff off of the website and his bounced back.
Okay, we'll check it.
So make sure, Larry, you have the correct one for Larry.
Okay.
It must just be wrong on the website,
Yeah.
because everything I emailed to him, he gets.
It is wrong on the
Yeah.
website.
I think what we have is right, and there's,
Yes.
yeah.
For our address book in the emails really needs cleaned up. Because there's so many employees that have retired or left and their names are still in the address book. Once you leave Delaware County, your name should come off of that. That needs cleaned up.
Okay, now we need to decide when we're gonna recess to. So I can call a recess. You wanna meet Monday, July the 2nd at 2 p.m., 6 p.m., 3 p.m., I don't know, we need to probably at least go after 10 o'clock.
I'm gonna
10:30, at least
gone
10:30,
out of
guys.
town.
You're gonna be, oh, you're going
Yeah,
to
we're
Niagara
leaving.
Falls, aren't you?
Yeah, we're leaving right after the state call meeting Saturday.
Did you figure it out?
Yes.
Told me he was going to Niagara Falls in Maine. I said, how you gonna get from Niagara Falls to Maine?
Yeah.
He gonna
It's
go
not
around?
easy,
I know it's not, I figured it was gonna be tough.
but we'll get there.
He didn't know, he said, my wife takes care of that stuff.
She's got 2 maps, option A and option B.
Well, I've been both to Niagara Falls and Maine, and I'll tell you what, I don't know how I'd get from one to the other.
It doesn't look easy, I kinda looked up, but it'll be fun.
You'll be like I was the first time I went across the south, heading from Louisiana to Texas in a motorhome.
You know, I tried to get.
And I ran into this dadgum ferry boat. I don't like water.
I tried to tell her I was gonna rent an RV and she said no, because you'll make me stay in it.
That'd be fun.
I looked at the map and I had to go way up around the Plymouth Bay to get to the lower part of Texas. So I got on the ferry boat.
The insurance committee has been meeting, and we meet at 10:30 after the commissioners meeting.
Okay.
I
Well,
agree.
For how long?
It won't take a half hour.
Your meeting now.
Go off.
Your meeting take.
Yeah.
You want to,
One.
Scott will be gone,
I'll be gone.
Mary's gonna be gone.
You gotta have 5,
Who had that
right?
for?
Or 4, yeah, 3, 4.
I'll
I
be
will be
here.
here.
Jane will be here.
I can be here.
Larry should be.
What time are you making it on Monday?
What would work for you?
Yeah.
Said what would work for you?
Monday's tough on him in the morning, so it'd have to be in the afternoon. Want to make it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
I could do 1 if you want to go.
1 o'clock? You can do your lunch, won't you?
Yeah.
Okay, we will
Is that 4
recess.
people?
We will recess till 1 p.m. July the 2nd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.